Hey folks, how you doing? I thought I'd share a moment with you here, if I could. I plan on going out and playing my music and sharing the information that I've come to understand that I actually have put to lyric. And I'm just kind of wondering where I'm going to go to do this. I mean, anywhere is good as long as it's receptive. Maybe that's the wrong way to say it. I mentioned before that I would use my two 5-watt amplifiers to be able to that's battery powered to do that, but I can't do that around here because I'd probably get held up and they would steal my stuff. I kind of live within kind of like a ghetto situation here. Not a good place to do that at. It wouldn't be very receptive anyhow. I spent a lot of time being able to get the gear or equipment or instruments that I have a whole lifetime, and I don't want to go out in an area where it's going to get stolen from me. You know, someone to hold me up at gunpoint or whatever. No, because I had a dream about stuff like that. I wasn't really thinking about it. It just kind of came to me a few times. And I'm going, I need to be cautious about where I go. Because the message that I have, it's about communicating certain ideas in the right place where it can be spread out. People will take that information, and when it's received in the right area, the operative word here is received, then it can spread out, and it'll be assimilated, so to speak, for lack of terms, within the community, within certain spheres of influence, as if I was to do it in an area there where everybody's kind of bogged down with the economy and people are stealing to survive and all this other stuff. That's kind of like where I live. Going off and taking my instrument that I spent my whole life my whole life being able to obtain, not from, I mean, it's taken a lifetime for me to be able to have the stuff that I have, to be able to actually do something with it. It's not about, for me, music or any art form, this is my own personal feeling about it, and my conviction is to be able to communicate ideas for enlightenment, to raise consciousness, and to make people be encouraged to aspire to better things. And you can't go into the ghetto and do that. You have to go into the ghetto and do different things to inspire people to come out of it. If you go in there with things that are valuable, most likely in most situations you're going to get robbed. So I've been contemplating where I'm going to go to be able to do this. It seems to me I'm probably going to end up in Redlands at the farmers market to do that, because it's more of a controlled environment and you have a more hospitable situation there. But another thing that's come to mind is like, okay, I have these lyrics, and one of the things that's important to me as far as singing goes, outside of the fact of being able to carry a tune, is to be able to communicate a message, valuable information pertaining to who we are and where we're going, what is important to connect to in regards to the intimate sense of our essence and all these different things related. And I would like to be able to read some lyric that I've written to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, so that when I present this stuff, I need to kind of be led to where I'm going to go to be able to do this, so that it's actually received. Again, to be able to be received, to move out from that community, and that type of thing, where it plants a seed and it grows, for a metaphor. One of the tunes is called Trans-Universal Being. I did a little study on this, or should I say I did a little talk on my channel about this, and this is something that came to me, and I thought I would go ahead and put it to lyric. So this is called Trans-Universal Being. Verse 1, true timeline, unfolding heart and mind. In the mirroring of our soul, the truth now resides. Spirit whole, contained in soul, complete, fully complete. Spirit whole, contained in soul, complete. Following verse, that other section was a bridging verse. The next verse is, living in the moment, we rest in the heart. This predestined moment, we begin to live out our part. And it goes back to the bridge verse. And to the chorus it says, to be the trans-universal being. And it repeats itself. The next verse, or the last verse, is spirit is the essence of what we call heart. Conscious essence, the creational force. And it goes to the bridge verse, chorus, a narrative basically where I'm playing a couple chords, modulating between two chords, and I'm defining what this means, then it goes, which is, that interlude, and now it comes out of the interlude and goes back to the chorus again, which is to be the trans-universal being, and, end of the song. But the other tune is called I Clearly Now See, the love we've always been. Verse 1, it is always my desire to experience more than words, that part of me that desires to create again, to obtain sovereignty complete, reintegrating the complete image of my past. Bridge, honoring form equally to that of the soul, the spirit's heart, transforming the whole of me. I clearly now see. Chorus, to return to the love we have always been. Verse, to honor form is to honor life. Precious creation, the beauty of its spark. Surfacing new world, we dream, we transform. Honoring form equally to that of the soul. Our spirit's heart, transforming the whole of we clearly now see. And then chorus, to return to the love we have always been. This one's called Oscillating Frames of Light, the Immortal Self. Found within the light, the joy of the heart burns bright, knowing all that we can be, all that we are. To know oneself is to know true self, unified and complete. Bridge, here within our day, reflecting clear, so to mirror our ways in harmonious light. Second part of the bridge, which is like a bridge chorus. Ever near, transcending fear through the oscillating frames of light, where the truth burns bright. Following verse. Transcending the body's self to one's formless self, integrating with the one of all. Verse. A choice to be soul complete, from the crown to the feet, bringing in the whole of the soul till complete. And I have another tune that I'm working on, but this is the last one I've written down. This is called More Than We Were. A long way I have come, many things have I endured, so to speak of the one and to return. Peace is found in the heart, the spirit of which you are one. Rise up those confined and free your heart. Chorus. We long to see our true home. We long to be more than we were. One are we, the creation's heart. Return shall we, more than we were. Verse, steadfast in your sovereignty, let not your eyes sway to observe, but lay true to the course for which you have endured. Step back from disparaging, judge not, only discern. Have love in your heart for those to return. Like I said, I have another tune that I'm working on, dealing with soul contracts, actually. And so this is a platform for me to be able to communicate these higher truths. And I find that using song is the best way to communicate these ideas. I mean, to just talk about them is okay. And if you get a name out there and people ascribe to what you're saying, or you're publicized in a way, or you're blown up, and you become viral on the internet, then people pay more attention to what you're saying. But nobody really pays attention to what I'm saying for very much. And what's most important to me, and I mean, a few do mention and are appreciative to the things that I do, which I'm grateful for, and which leads me to say that being able to take this stuff to the streets, so to speak, through song, and to communicate the gift that I have within, as far as music and stuff like that, and things that I've developed, is a blessing, because it allows for me to be able to connect with people on a one-on-one basis, and I can see reactions immediately, and that is very encouraging to me, and it's a very joyful experience to have that. And also, you're able to, when you're connecting with them, after you get done performing or whatever, and then you're able to talk to people, and you're able to encourage them, and you're able to, communicate, and you never know what will come out of that, but it's just, it just, for me, it's kind of like, well, you just got to do it, but you have to find the right place to do it at. You just can't do it anywhere, and because it has to lay hold, it has to be effective. And it's not that I wouldn't want to do it around here in this area, but it's like, it's kind of too scary to do that around here. What I mean by that, I can't afford to lose what I have, the tools that I have to use. I can't afford to lose them. And around here, it's a good chance that I would end up losing them because someone, I mean, we live in a world where you have to pay to live on it, and then you're controlled by a bunch of other controllers. They keep, people down, and they keep them in poverty and all this other stuff, and they don't even know who they are, and it's really heartbreaking. And so I understand their need to be able to try to survive, because they don't really know anything other than that, because they're so beat down all the time. And I get it. I've experienced that myself, and I understand how I can relate to that, but I understand it. It's not acceptable, because this shouldn't go on anymore. This stuff, it's time for people to stop hating and stop being controlling beings, and just allow the love of where they come from to come back within their heart. It's just, it is what it is, but you have to do things effectively in order for it to take root. So I'm going to go outside of this city in order for that to happen. If anybody out there that lives in Rialto or around this area that is a percussionist, I would really like to be able to work with somebody who's a percussionist. So, if you hear this and you know somebody, pass me on to them. If they live here in California within the San Bernardino County or Riverside County or whatever, in that area, That'd be cool. So anyhow, I just thought I'd share that with you. Peace, people. I'll talk to you some other time, and there it is.